Good afternoon, my YouTube viewers. It is Palestine here. I'm here making another video because I just want to let you know what happened last night and this morning. So last night when I was making potato and leek soup, and the reason why I'm making potato and leek soup is because I have to use up all of the food that we get from handouts because I really can't afford to go buy food because of my financial difficulties. So we had some potatoes and we had some leeks, and I decided to make potato and leek soup, which is something that I already had at home, and I accidentally cut my finger. I don't know if you can see it, but I cut my finger while I was cutting the potatoes. And in addition to that, when I was serving up the potato and leek soup, I miscalculated the length from the table, and I dropped a bowl of potato and leek soup all over the floor. So we had to spend time cleaning that up, and my boyfriend helped me clean it up. He's a very nice man, and he helped me clean up the potato and leek soup that got all over the floor, all over his socks, all over his trousers, all over his coat. And then obviously I was worried about that. I was thinking to myself, well, what's going on here? You cut your finger and you spilt this soup. And then so we went to bed after I washed my hair because I take my bath at night, and the reason why I take my bath at night is because I want to be clean when I'm sleeping. I don't want to go to bed with all the day's grime on me. I want to go to bed clean. And so I woke up at 5 o'clock and couldn't go back to sleep from worry, just worry. And so because of what happened last night and the fact that I rang the breast cancer nurses yesterday morning and they didn't return my call yesterday morning, and they also haven't returned my call today, I was again worried. And so I rang the GP surgery and I said, could I have an appointment to see a doctor? And they said, well, we don't have any women doctors. And I said, well, that's okay. And the thing is that once you tell them you've got cancer, you can get in to see a doctor, so because on Friday, and I did make an appointment to say what happened on Friday, I got in an appointment. And then today, I told them, I had cancer, was treated for cancer. And so they gave me an appointment at 10 minutes past 9. And that was like 8:15. So that meant I had 55 minutes to brush my teeth and put my clothes on, put a little bit of mascara on, and take the bus to the GP surgery, which is in the center of town. And so basically what happened was, I don't think my boyfriend was very happy, but I finished my toast. I had a piece of toast with peanut butter and chocolate spread on it. I know you're not supposed to have it, but I have so few pleasures in life that I want to have chocolate spread on my peanut butter. It's going to be like a Reese cup on toast. I know you're not supposed to do it. I know I'm diabetic, but I have so few pleasures in life that, I don't want to deny myself chocolate spread on my peanut butter toast. And I don't want to deny myself hot chocolate. And I don't want to deny myself a little bit of chocolate, because that's just how pathetic my life is, that's the only joy I get, basically. So I had to finish my toast. Didn't get to take any of my tablets because I've got so many tablets to take. It takes me a long time to take my tablets as well. And so I had to brush my teeth, and then I had to put on the clothes that I'm going to wear to work. And so since I only work 3.5 hours a day, and I work in a back office, that isn't very clean. I just wear jeggings and a top, and I have to wear that. I have a postmenopausal figure, so I can't wear any figure hugging clothes because I can't imagine too many people would be attracted to that. And then we went to the bus stop, and we were waiting for the bus, and the bus didn't come. So there was this one bus, I think it was bus 850 or 500 or something like that, 127. And basically what it is I could get on the bus, but my boyfriend couldn't. So I got on the bus, and my boyfriend said, I'll meet you there. So I was able to get on the bus and go to this mall where the doctor's surgery is. And so I had enough time, because I got on that bus, I had enough time to where I could go visit the ladies' room before my appointment. And then so when I was walking into the clinic, which is actually in this mall, I saw my boyfriend. So we went to the receptionist, told the receptionist I had an appointment. She said, you can walk on through. And so within a few minutes, I just barely made it to the clinic in the nick of time, because the buses just weren't coming. And then so I saw this doctor. My boyfriend went in with me because I want my boyfriend to go to my doctor's appointments with me. And that way the doctors can't say that I said or did something that I didn't say or do. And so I told him what happened. I told him that I cut my finger and I spilled the soup all over the floor, and I have to ask my boyfriend the names of actors and things like that, which is the truth, I do. I wasn't making that up. And I told him about my breast. He asked me when I finished my radiotherapy, and I said I finished it in September. So he didn't seem to be too worried about my cognitive abilities, except for the fact that I did tell him that in December I got some bad financial news, and I felt that was the trigger for all this stuff, which is, I do think that it triggered it. So I don't think he was too worried about my cognition, even though I am. I can tell. I can tell I'm postmenopausal. I can tell that my brain doesn't work as well as it used to. And then so he wanted to see my breast, and he got a chaperone. And then so he looked at my breast, and then he said he agreed with me that the skin on my left breast is a lot rougher than the skin on my right breast. And he said that he checked for lumps and he didn't find anything. But even when I was told I had cancer, I couldn't find any lumps. And so he said that he thinks that it was the radiotherapy has changed the texture of the skin. And if there are any changes in the nipple, to let him know. And he didn't seem to be too worried. He said that radiotherapy has caused this. But I didn't tell him, but I still have pain right here, which is to the right of where the lumpectomy scar is. So it's not on the lumpectomy scar. It's to the right of the lumpectomy scar. But I didn't tell him that. And then so I guess he wasn't too worried about it. And then I had to text my manager, and I sent him a text, and I said, I'm going to be a little bit late because I have a doctor's appointment at 9:10. I said at 8:10, and then I texted him back and I said, sorry, it's 9:10. I have fat fingers. So he thought obviously I was going to the doctor because I have fat fingers, and I don't think they really comprehended that because I have fat fingers, my fingers are too big for the keyboard on my phone, and that's why it makes mistakes. But anyway, so I was just a few minutes late for work. I managed to get to work just a few minutes late. My boyfriend decided that he was going to stay in town. But he is such a nice man. So I told him, I said, well, I don't know what buses are going to go straight to the hospital. So he told me 3 buses that he knew of that were going to go straight to the hospital. So we went to the bus stop and we waited a few minutes for the bus, and then he kissed me and said goodbye, and he stayed in town, and I went to work, and I had to work my 3.5 hours. And so I got to work, and they wanted to know if I was okay, and I said yes, but I don't talk to them about my health because I don't want them to know that I've been treated for cancer, because if they knew I've been treated for cancer, or they may already know, but I haven't declared it. So they may already have known. They may be really nosy and have found out on their own, but I haven't declared that I had cancer. So if they did know I had cancer, they would send me to occupational health, which I don't want to go to occupational health. And the reason why I don't want to go to occupational health is you go to occupational health when you have a medical condition that means you cannot do your job. That's why you get sent to occupational health. So I don't want to go to occupational health. So I'm home now. I did my 3.5 hours, and I did a few little things. The problem is that I got most of my work done in the first 3 weeks of the month. And so since this is the last week of the month, I've had most of my work done, so I don't have that much to do until Wednesday. But I just sat there and was really quiet and doing a few little things that I could do until tomorrow, which is Wednesday, and I can start doing the things that I need to do. And there was something else that I could do, that I could speak to my manager about doing, but I was afraid to speak to him about this because I thought, well, what's going to happen with my health? I said, what happens if they say that the cancer has spread? So it's a bit of a tricky situation, but my GP doesn't seem to be worried. He's not nearly as worried as I am. And I'm worried about the cancer spreading. And the reason why I'm worried about the cancer spreading is because I can't afford to take any time off work. So if the cancer spreads and I have to have treatment for that, how is that going to affect my work? And then so at some point, I would have to actually declare to my employer that I have cancer, but I don't want to do that. And so I'm home now. I did my 3.5 hours. And another problem is that because of this financial problem that was caused by 2 people, 2 organizations, but because of these 2 organizations that have caused my financial problems, I'm suffering financially. But the problem is I make myself a cheese sandwich to eat every day because I've got osteopenia. So I have this cheese sandwich because I've got osteopenia, but the cheese sandwich, I only eat half of it because I don't want the rest of it. And then I ended up going to the Starbucks and getting a semi-skim hot chocolate. And I know I'm not supposed to have it, but I've got so few joys in this life that I have that hot chocolate. And then in addition to that, I go and get, when the dining facility opens, I go and get a salad. And this salad I take home, and I have half of it, and I give my boyfriend half of it. So between this salad, which is $3.50, and the hot chocolate, which is $3.70, so that's £7.20 that I'm spending just for lunch, okay? And then so I can't afford that. I can't afford that £7.20, but I spend it. I'm using my savings. I'm using my savings to have that hot chocolate and that salad. And sometimes my boyfriend gives me money, but he hasn't got a lot of money to give me. And then so when I finish this video, what I have to do is I have to upload it. And then because I use I tether, I have on my phone, I have unlimited text and unlimited minutes. And so I tether my and unlimited internet. And so I tether the internet onto my other devices. But when I'm uploading the video, I can only upload the video. I can't do anything else. So I'll have to wait for the video to upload before I can do anything else. And then I'm going to have to wash the dishes because I didn't get to wash the dishes this morning. I have to wash the dishes. I have to take all my medication because I didn't get to take my medication this morning. And then I'll make my salad, put oil and vinegar and salt and pepper on the salad. And I'll have half of that. And I will give my boyfriend the other half. So I don't know what's going to happen with my health because it's still painful right here. And the scar is here, but it's painful here. And the lung cancer nurses haven't phoned me back. And I don't know what's going to happen. I know that my dad, he had lung cancer when he was in his late 60s because he smoked all his life. He didn't like people who had a lot of weight on them. And so one, he liked to smoke. And two, there was a period of his life when he didn't smoke for about 3 years, but he started gaining weight and he didn't like that. So he started smoking again. So he had lung cancer when he was in his late 60s. And then the lung cancer actually had gone to his brain. And so that's my big worry. I worry that this cancer that I have in my body is going to spread to my bones, which is what happened to Samantha Lynn, who has recently died, and also Jody, who is too cute for cancer. I think the cancer has spread to her bones as well. Or it could spread to my brain. So if it spreads to my brain, obviously that's going to affect my cognition. And because I have to work, I cannot afford for my cognition to be affected. So I do worry. I worry about the cancer spreading. I worry about the cancer coming back. Because of the cancer coming back, they might tell me they want me to have a mastectomy, which is not something that I want to do. So I have a lot of worries. And my boyfriend worries too. And I told my boyfriend that if I die, I don't want him to drink and do drugs. And he said he's not going to. He said he won't do it. He said that he might spend time by himself, but he's not going to drink and do drugs. That's what I told him. I don't want him to drink and do drugs if I die. So that was my day. So the GP doesn't seem to be too worried about the changes in my skin. And he just said that if there's any changes in the nipple, let him know. And the breast cancer nurses haven't phoned me back. So I don't know what they're going to say. So that concludes this video, talking to you about what happened last night and what happened this morning. I'm going to go ahead and conclude this video. If you like my video, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching my video. And I'll be making more videos for you about my life with cancer soon.